those of you that are here frequently might get tired of hearing this, but I could not be any prouder of my team. I thought they played their butts off, especially on the defensive end. We had trouble making shots. I thought we got a lot of really good shots, whether it be shots right at the goal or good looks at three. Now, I know that there were some times when we took some ugly shots because of their defense, just like they did against ours. But I just thought it was really kind of came down to two things. They got to the foul line and a lot more than we did. And then we just didn't convert when we had great opportunities. I thought we did everything defensively that we needed to do. You look down and Howard gets 6 points and battles at 14, way under his average. Sidibe obviously came in off the bench and hurt us a lot. He was really good. But our team continues to grow and continues to get better, and we don't have any wins recently to show for it, but I'm coaching a great group, and hopefully we'll knock the door down here soon because they deserve it.
Kim, what do you feel like is the main thing that you take away from a week like this? Obviously two more losses, but they were both single-digit games. By a combined 9 points. What do you take from it?
Well, as I've said, we don't ever take any consolation in losing. My barometer has to be how we're progressing, and I think we're getting better. I think we're getting better on the defensive end. We were much better against their zone this time than we were the first time we played them 11 days ago. And again, you're in the business to win. We play the games to win. We're not playing to get close or anything like that. But again, you look down and so many things on the stat sheet you'd feel good about. We out offensive rebounded them. We had less turnovers than them. I know they blocked 11 shots. Heck, we blocked 9 shots. I don't think we've blocked 9 shots in a game this year. And so there are things that are happening that are, Jared gets 13 rebounds, Terrell has 6 blocks, Marcus has 12 assists. There are things that are going on that are very, very positive. And we just have to continue to try to get better and then hope that some wins start coming as a result of that.
Coach, give us the latest on Cameron Davis.
Got gashed up above his eye. Seemed to be okay. Tony told me he could go back in the game at the end. It was kind of enough away from us there that I didn't want to risk it. I think he had to have some. I'm sure he had to have some stitches. I don't know how many, but I'm hopeful that I don't. It didn't seem like there were any concussion symptoms or anything like that. So I think he just got, he got cracked really hard right above his eye and it slid it open.
Kevin, you got completely away from the ball screen in the second half. Was that just maybe saying we're going to take that long-range shot when it's there, or kind of scrap the?
No, it was. We started having success getting the ball to Marcus in the middle of the zone, and we were getting. That's what was so frustrating. We were getting really good shots, and when we ran, that was really when we ran our best offense. Was when. There were two. The ball screen helped us in the first half, I thought. Then I thought they made a little bit of an adjustment in their zone and tried to press us out from the ball screen a little bit. And so then we shifted and went and put Marcus in the middle, and we started getting him the ball, and that's why I ended up with 12 assists. He started distributing it and got Terrell a dunk and got some guys open looks, and it was just phenomenal to me, not in a good way, but how many times we got great looks after we got him the ball that we didn't score. I mean, he could have had 20 assists, but it's the way it goes sometimes.
Kevin, when you talk about those silver linings or positives, do you sense that those feelings are shared by administrators here? Like, do you have conversations with your AD or your bosses about, we might not have wins, but you feel like we're still doing the right things?
Not really. I mean, they let me do my job, and I mean, we have conversations, of course, but you know, we're going to continue to go out there and fight every day and practice hard every day and compete, hopefully on game night, I mean, this is probably not a conducive time for a lot of conversation, because as coaches we're pretty busy and we're trying to figure out how to help our team win and things like that. So, you know, when there needs to be a conversation, there'll be a conversation, and if I need something, I'll go to them. If they need something, they'll come to me. But right now, what I need is to help my players more, and so I spend my waking hours doing the best I can to try to help them.
At this point, in these last two games, and you see what NC State did in Chapel Hill today, is there such thing as a moral victory?
Probably not. Probably not. There's such thing as getting better, though, and we're getting better. And again, you can't control our, I guess, in some ways you can't control how many wins that adds up to. But again, like I said the other day, there's one perspective. We're 0-9. Okay, that's no fun. No fun for the players. No fun for the coaches. No fun for the administration. No fun for the fans. Nobody has fun with that. And then there's the perspective that I have to keep, and that is these guys are making progress, and they're continuing to be very coachable and continuing to have great attitudes towards practice and towards games and towards each other and towards us. And that's, if we continue to make enough progress, like I said, you know, there probably weren't a ton of 18-point, 13-rebound games in the league today. Now, Bagley probably had one, but, you know, there probably weren't a bunch of point guards in the league today that got 16 points and 12 assists. Our kids are getting better. They're young. They're in their first year. They're getting better. And would we like to be a finished product now and be in 5th place or 1st place? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But we're not. And so, but it's not through lack of effort of our players, because our players are playing their butts off.
You know, Shamil only played eight minutes today. Was that more a product of his play recently, or was that you sensing Syracuse probably, you know, given where he is now, isn't the best matchup for him?
It was a couple of things, and Shamil played well the other day against NC State. We came to practice yesterday. We really couldn't do a lot. I don't know what, today's Saturday. We couldn't do a lot on Thursday after the Wednesday night game. And so we watched some film with them. We did just a few things on the court, not very many. Wanted to try to get their legs back under them. And then we showed up for practice yesterday. Shamil's eyes were swollen shut, and there's some allergy. His eyes were like he could barely see, so he didn't get to practice. So we're sitting there doing all the stuff that we're doing for, you know, getting ready for this game, and he's in the training room because he can barely open his eyes. And so it was a combination of that, and it's probably not a great style game for Shamil, and not that he played badly. I mean, he didn't play badly, but we had just gotten everything in, and he just when I took him out in the second half, it was something that we covered so hard yesterday, and we went through with him today in the shoot around, and he didn't get it, and it cost us 3, and it's not his fault because he didn't get the reps that he needed to but it's just one of those things. He shows up and he can't open his eyes. So
Last question here.
Kevin, do you feel like, you know, what's going to turn this around is going to be the maturation of these players with this young team, or do you feel like you maybe need an impact player to come in next year and be the one guy that can kind of put you over the top?
Well, I maybe both. I think you know, we have two guys that will be on next year's team that we don't see one of them in practice every day because Ryan's still not playing. But Ryan and Malik Ellison, they'll significantly impact this team in a very positive way. And they'll almost impact it from an experience standpoint. I mean, they both have multiple years of high-level Division I experience, and so so we feel like we've got a couple of guys right here that will impact our team greatly. And then obviously with the maturation of these guys, then we think we could be significantly better. And I think the players feel that, the coaches certainly feel that. So, but that doesn't help us right now, and we have to keep doing what we can do to help them and because they're really I'm sure you're tired of hearing this by now, but they're really an unbelievably good group.
After starting the game 5 of 5, Jared, I think you had gone something like 2 of 15, 2 of 16 the rest of the day. When you get into moments like that, is there a temptation when the shot's not falling to maybe be a little bit more restrained in terms of your shot selection, or or do you see the best way to kind of snap out of those things is just to keep shooting and it'll fall eventually?
It's not something I really focus on when I'm shooting bad. When I get open shots, my job is to, take the shots. And when they're falling, that's really good for us. When they're not, it's obviously not as positive. But I don't really focus on the droughts. Like I said before, I'm just still in the game trying to help my team win any way possible, play defense, make passes, and then those shots will start falling. And if you do the right things on the court, things are going to work out for you. So I don't really focus on that.
Jared, you guys got completely away from the screen offense in the second half. Was that coach pretty much saying, we're going to live and die by the 3 right now if the skip pass isn't there?
We were trying to just make them move, shift their defense, get into the middle, and then, dump downs and kickouts would be open. And we got, a lot of those opportunities. We just had a little cold shooting slump in the second half, and it kind of stung us. We were playing, solid defense for the most part, but when we went in that little shooting slump, it really hit us hard. So.
Do you feel like that's where Terrell's best, though, on the blocks, as opposed to coming up for that high ball screen?
Terrell's good at both, what you're talking about right now. Terrell's really young, and the stuff he does and shows us already is amazing. So, we believe in him. Anything that Coach asks him to do, we know he can do. So.
What was more frustrating for you, Jerry? Making 3 of 13 from beyond the arc of your team, making 9 of 34 from beyond the arc.
The only part that was really frustrating is because we were wide open a lot of the times, and balls are going just in and out. Shooters guys who usually make shots, myself being one of those people, just seeing it not go in, it was kind of frustrating. But we were just trying to stay locked in, keep getting stops, And we knew those opportunities were going to come. Every time we just kept telling each other, just keep battling, and stuff would end up working out. Shots would start falling.
When you guys dropped to 0-9 in conference play, how hard is it to try to get that first win, and how hard is it that you weren't able to do it twice this week at home?
We're focused on the next game for the most part. The winning and losing, that's part of basketball. Losing 9 in a row, obviously nobody wants to do that. But, we know there's certain things that we have to do to get wins, and we know there's going to be growing pains of a new team like ourselves, a young team like ourselves. So we're really just trying to focus on getting over that hump. Because these last 2 games, we had them right in our hand, opportunity to win. And, just little couple mistakes here and there, a couple missed shots, and, things don't go our way. So we're just trying to focus on getting over that hump.
Marcus, you had a stretch in the second half where you were getting hot. Jared had the hot start. What will it take for the whole team to start getting that confidence on a consistent basis?
Just seeing open looks fall. We got a ton of them tonight, and guys were stepping in and shooting them with confidence. And honestly, it's a matter of time and a matter of feel. I'm confident in all of my teammates every single time that when I pass them the ball, they're going to knock it down. I don't think that my teammates are not confident in themselves, just not everybody's always clicking at the right time. I know tonight was the first time I hit a 3 since the Virginia Tech game, so it's really just about timing and when everybody finds their groove. So I don't think anybody's not confident.
Marcus, you
guys finished 2 of your last 15. That was roughly about the same time they kind of started to pull ahead. Did you feel like once they took that lead, you guys got sped up a little bit or just got out of your flow, maybe tried to do a little bit too much down the stretch?
I don't think we got sped up at all. I just think, a few of those shots were kind of like shots at the end when we're trying to get back into it. But like I said, we had good open looks tonight, and some of them fell and some of them didn't. Most of them didn't, and that's pretty much why we lost.
Marcus, this is the 22nd game, and there's been a lot of bumps and bruises along the way for you guys. Do you still feel like a freshman, or do you feel like a guy who's seen a lot already?
Don't really feel like a freshman. I don't think I ever really did, because from the day I came in, Coach kind of told me and my teammates, and they all had confidence in me from day one to come in and get the job done, and I knew that I kind of had a big weight on my shoulders and a lot to carry, but I also knew that I didn't really have time to feel sorry for myself or time to make certain mistakes that other guys do, because I'm trying to help my team win and help my guys get better. So, no.
For either one of you guys, when you're the winless team in the league, rather than like having opponents overlook you guys, you almost feel like you get other teams' best effort because no one wants to be the team that sort of lets you guys get that first one?
In the ACC, every team's going to play hard every game. It's the best league in the country, and it's the most competitive. Every team is very talented. I don't think they're focusing so much on that. I think they're just coming to play every day. Most of those teams play hard every game, just like ourselves. So.
Marcus, aside from the results, have you guys feel like you've gotten better throughout this ACC play? Are you seeing signs that you guys can focus on and say, hey, here's where we're better than we were a week ago? And how much of that is the concentration right now, being that you're a young team?
Yeah, of course. You can easily see it with the results of the last 2 games, and when we play certain games, you could just kind of feel and tell that we're growing as a team, and we know that ourselves. And that's kind of why these last 2 games, it kind of hurt, because we know that we've been working so hard and we've been taking the right steps and we've been moving forward. And these last 2 games, we really just, both of them, we kind of felt like we had them in our hands, and they were both going to be the ones that kind of got us over that hump so we could take the next step. But again, it's just a learning process for us. And these last 2 games really taught us a lot about ourselves as a team and how we have to improve in certain stretches of the game, and what we have to do in order to seal a win.
Last question here. From what you guys could see, what did it seem like they were doing differently on Parker compared to the first matchup when he had 23?
Well, they're definitely just more focused on him. I know that, because trying to get him open looks, they're always kind of talking and pointing, making sure everybody knew where he was at all times. He lit him up for 7 threes last time, so that was obviously going to be a focus for them. But it kind of just opened it up for other guys like Jared, Cam, and myself to make plays and knock shots down, and he knocked a few shots down himself. So, they're really just more focused on knowing where he was at all times and kind of not trying to let him get off like he did last time.
The last game, Boston College went zone 4 times against us, and we made 2 threes and 2 layups and got them out of it. Tonight, obviously, we couldn't make anything for a long time. We had to drive. We had to try to get in the lane and make something happen, and we didn't really finish very well in there. When you play against zones and you don't make shots, it's a difficult game. I thought Frank made a couple good penetrations in the second half. We got in the lane, and then we wanted Ty in the corner. Ty hit the one shot that we needed to have. I think that gave us separation. But, it's a struggle for us some games to score points. And when that happens, you just have to play defense and do the best you can at the other end. Barama was tremendous. He's been getting better in practice, healthier. He had his best practice of the year this week. I didn't anticipate him playing that much, but Pascal was not involved in the game at all. He wasn't doing what he's been doing, catching and going up strong. He was looking. But Barama was tremendous. I still think if he had been healthy all year, he could do this on a regular basis. He's a very good player down there. He gets a little overexcited. He fouled the guys on a three-point shot at the end, but you know, that's he tries to make plays. I thought he was tremendous today. He was the difference in the game. I thought we did a good job on Parker. You know, he can shoot it, but you know, we got off to a slow start like we did against Boston College, and then we've kind of battled our way back in it. But at the end of the day, you got to make some shots. We didn't finish. O'Shea is not finishing around the basket. We got to do a better job there. But you go on the road, it's tough. I don't care where you're playing, who you're playing. I thought their fans were good today. You know, I thought they played hard. I thought they did some good things. But at the end, Tyus made that shot, and then we made a couple good defensive plays and got just enough separation.
Jim, did Merrick getting the ball in the high post a little bit more help you guys out in the second half too?
Well, you know, he didn't do much in the first half from there. He made a great pass to O'Shea. O'Shea was rushing his shot. He took his time, made that three. That was a big. Those were the two big shots. That shot and the one Ty made. But he's usually pretty good in the high post. I thought you know, Frank did a good job in the second half of getting in the lane and got the lob pass. But you know, Frank, you know, he struggled shooting, and you know, we struggled putting the ball in the basket. And whenever you do that, you're going to have trouble. We had trouble in Syracuse when we played Pittsburgh and Syracuse. So it was virtually the same kind of game. It was close. And we made a couple shots and got the lead. Today, if we didn't just go foul the guy out there twice, we probably would have had about the same game as we had in Syracuse. But you know, it's a very difficult game when you don't make baskets.
In your experience, Jim, have you seen a team play as many freshmen in significant minutes as Pitt has been playing this season?
You can't win with just freshmen in this league. I mean, it's impossible. I think I watched them play a number of games in our games. They battled us both times. They had NC State really just about beat the other day, and NC State won in North Carolina today. So you know, they're playing as hard as they can. They're doing what they can to win. But you know, they just are. You know, you got too many young guys out there, and that's our problem. We have the same problem, and it shows up. But we got a couple veteran guys, but it shows up, no question.
Jim, is this the kind of game that can maybe propel Barama as the season goes on?
Well, I think it's health. You know, if his knee's healthy, I think he, you know. But Pascal's been great. He's been really good for us, and he needs to learn from this experience. It wasn't he can't go out there and play like that. You know, he played 17 minutes, and he got a couple of rebounds, but he didn't do anything around the basket. He had good opportunities. You got to score inside if they're not guarding you. You know.
Jim, I'm going back a few decades here, but I'm kind of wondering, given this was a retro night and they had Charles Smith here, if you remember what the Pitt program was like prior to his arrival, Charles Smith's arrival at Pitt in the early 80s with the Big East.
Yeah, I mean,
how much of an impact a guy like that can
they weren't very good. They, you know, Charles and Jerome and those guys turned it around. You know, we had a pretty good record against Pittsburgh for a long time, but those guys really turned it around. Then when Ben came in, you know, he did a great job, and Jamie did a great job. You know, in terms of making things way. But Charles Smith, you know, he was a great player,
Jimmy, they shot 27%. You talked about Stewart, but what else did you do defensively better than you did in the last game?
You know, we found Stewart. That's really what we did. I think the thing with Frame made those 4 or 5 shots early, and then I don't know, he probably didn't make more than one the rest of the game. You know, he must have been like 2 for 14 or something. Sometimes when you make a couple early, it's not good. You know, you think you're going to keep making them, and then you don't. But we did a good job on Stewart. When you really watch a guy for a long time and then he does get an open shot, it's hard to make that open shot when you haven't had one. And he had a couple finally. You know, but one time he had one, and Tyus was right there, and he let him shoot it, and that's the one he made. I don't know what he was thinking over there. But, you know, we do things that can't figure out, and, you know, I know it's because they're young, and, you know, we just do things that you can't do. But they keep trying, they keep playing, they keep scratching away, and that's really all you can do. That's all you can ask for.
Coach, how impressed were you winning this game with only 2 guys on your bench, Pitt's 5 players on the bench?
Yeah, we only had seven guys, so we know that coming in. So, you know, we played 7 the last game for just about the whole game, and you only need 5. Everybody's healthy. You can get by.
During your all's preparation for this game, Jim, given what Stewart did against you guys 10 days ago, how much more of an emphasis or a focus was there on him defensively?
Well, there was a big focus. We wanted to play him. We wanted to find him. We didn't do that. We did it. We were really good against him. But, you know, I mean, he kept them in the game at Syracuse. The other guys didn't play very well, but they played better. Their defense was better. They were better around the basket. I thought we got in there. I thought O'Shea got in there, and I thought Marek got in there, and they just couldn't finish. And Barama, who hasn't played all year, he finishes. He's good. He uses his left hand. He's sneaky. You know, he actually missed that one layup, or he would have had 20 and 16. But he was spectacular. I thought, and it was pretty quiet. I thought he had like 12 and 12 or something, 12 and 10. So I looked at the stat sheet. I guess a good thing I didn't take him out.
You said in years past that this was a tough place to play, but a lot of it had to do with the team. The team.
No, there's no place. It's the teams. You don't play against buildings or fans. You play against teams, and they've had some great teams here. We've had some great games here that we couldn't quite get done. But you know, they had a really good run of players, and you know, this is a tough building because it's smaller and there's more noise in these kind of buildings. But in our league, really now, every place you go, it's pretty tough. But it comes down to players, you know, players making plays. We made 2 plays, and they had 2 chances at the other end to answer, and I think Marek made an unbelievable block on one of them, and I think O'Shea made one block down there. You know, we made a couple really big defensive plays, and that was the difference. You know, just in a game like this, it's a couple plays. That's what it is. You know, the Florida State game, we had blocked 1 shot, we would have won the game. We just couldn't make that. We didn't make the play.
Jim, how bad is Matt's ankle? Is there any chance he plays on Wednesday?
No, I don't think so. He's out for a while.
Jim, what was the issue that Frank was having in the first half? It seemed like he wasn't on the same page with what you wanted out of him.
You think so?
Just from watching.
Is that a question or is that an observation?
As well, why did he get subbed out in the first half for those 4 or 5 minutes?
He needed a rest. You can ask me any question you want. I just don't want to hear your observation. You can go on and talk radio and do that, all right? With the rest of the smokes.
Jim, how would you evaluate Tyus' play today and overall his shooting past few games?
You know, he's been great. I think they matched up with him, and I didn't do a good job of getting him in different places. We moved him finally to the other corner, and he got the 3 there. But he's got to be more aggressive. He was not aggressive in the second half. I think he got 3 shots. That's not enough. You know, he's got to get more shots. But when you're playing against a matchup zone and they're staying with him, like we stayed with Parker, then you're going to get stuff inside, and we weren't very good in there. You know, Marek had a bad start. Pascal had a bad start. O'Shea had a bad. I mean, those guys are getting layups. One's 4 for 16, one's 0 for 4. You know, the other's 2 for 6. So we're 6 for 26 in there, inside. You can't do that. Can't be 6 for 26 inside. We can't put Tyus there. So those guys got to finish better in there. And but you know, I thought there was a couple times he could have moved into a different spot, but they stayed with him. They guarded him, and you can do that in the zone. You can take a guy away, and that leaves an opening someplace else, and we didn't take as much advantage of that as we needed to. But when you shoot 3 for 15 from the 3 against the zone, and 19 for 54, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard.
Jim, how tough of a job is it for Kevin to try to turn this around? You see the start he's had this year.
Well, the problem was when he came, you missed that year, and he had 2 or 3 veterans, but they were there. Now you're starting all over again, and you're playing all young guys, and you just can't win in this league playing those guys. They need time. They need time. They're playing hard. They're doing the things they got to do. They're moving the ball. They had good opportunities against us. We blocked a couple layups, and they missed a couple open threes, and we made a couple open threes, and that was the difference in the game. And NC State's really good, and I didn't watch the whole game, but they led after the beginning. They had a 10-point lead, and NC State looked like a world championship team today. Carolina played great, and they beat them. They were 90-some points down there. So, they're really good, but it's tough. Young guys, you're just not going to win. Not going to win. We have just 3 young guys out there all the time. Well, really 4, but it's tough. It's tough to win. Our old guys are only been playing for the second year, really. Second year for Frank playing a lot, and the second year for Tyus. So you're going to have ups and downs. That's just the way it is. We're up and down, and I have to be patient as much as I can be, which is not that easy. But they're doing everything they can to try to get there. And even the games we've lost, they've been right there. They've done everything you could ask them to do. We got to get older quicker.